For today's video, I'm going to be repairing on a pump I have on this diesel fuel tank. The connectors are connected to a 12 volt to the battery. These are rusted up and in really bad condition. I just cut one side off already, the positive, actually the negative. I'm going to cut off now the positive side. And I'll be putting new clamps on it, and I'm going to be soldering it, which the way that I like it so it can stay very permanent. I've cut this piece of cable around here a little while ago. Let's get it out. Well, this could be stuck here. Could be all this paper around it that comes here to insulate it. Should have got a knife and split this with a knife, but I don't have it out here, so I guess I'll split it the forcible way. So yeah, it's that. It's all that paper that's in there. See, kind of insulation that it comes with. That's creating all that resistance here. Let's see now. There it goes. See? I'll be cutting that off. With my favorite stripping pliers here. The cut with the back. I'll be putting a link to this down below, and then you come and splice just by grabbing it. So I'll show you again here. I'll take off the tips. You come, grab it right here, press, and that's it. See, they don't just stay there, but perfect. Now I'm gonna slide this first here, because you can't get it on afterwards. And I will clamp this. Here's the way I'm gonna do it. Instead of like you would think like that, there's a reason why I'm gonna do it like this. And first, I'm gonna bend these two, and then the other one's gonna hold the cable when I twist it back. So there, it's clamped one way. I'll clamp it from this side now. Hold on, I didn't press it right and it slipped out. Let me go back and push it back and through. So I'm trying to show it here on the video and kind of like not paying attention, right? But now I squeezed it really good, and then this last one here, because it had 3 tabs, I'm going to twist this back and grab the actual wire with the plastic cover with it. But before I do that, I'm going to solder this so this 100% will never come off. Let me bring the camera here closer and show you. I've done this before in a video, but not like so specifically close up. I just give an idea. Let me bring this down here now so you can see what's going on live and close look. So what do I well, there's one thing that I wanted to do. Let me open this up real quick. I wanted to put a sleeve here that gets shrink wrapped. So let me go back to opening this up so that I can redo it. And it's kind of tight, but I'll get it opened up. Should get a little flathead screwdriver in here to get this opened up. But I ain't walking. Not from where I'm at right now. I almost got it. There we go. That one's gone. And then this one too. What I meant to put was one of these plastic shrink wraps to control here from this splitting anymore. Now I gotta make sure though, I'm gonna have to open this up a little bit more because I want to make sure that before I close it up and seal it, that I'll stick this back here and make a cut. I want to make sure that this is wide enough, the two pieces, to hit the positive and the negative on the car. I mean, on the equipment's battery that I'm going to be using to pump out. Should I have a knife out here? I wouldn't be struggling here because that's limited to how wide it opens back there. This cutter that it has in the back. Let me squish it the other way again. The cutter is really for like regular wires, probably up to like even a 6 gauge, but not for this so thick. Alright, so here we go, cutting this off again. And this extra insulator here. Now let me see what's the right size here. I want it to be as tight as possible. And this is going to be it. Perfect. Okay, back to where we were at a minute ago. We're doing the black one. And let me open this other tab here a little bit. Again, putting it this backwards way. Actually, I'm only gonna clamp it with one tab. I'm gonna use the other two to hold the actual wire with the plastic insulator on it. It kind of sucks that I kind of messed this up by opening and closing it. But it'll work out because either way it's gonna get soldered into place there. There we go. So let's see how I rig this up so it can be seen how I do it from the camera's view. Let me try to grab this somehow. Let's see, right there. It looks good. So we're gonna put a bunch of flux there. We're gonna come with a torch and heat this up really good. You never want to heat up your wire. You need to, because it'll just melt and drop. You need to heat up the item and let it basically suck it in. Right there, sucked in a little bit, but not enough, so it still needs more heat. Wait. What? So you gotta heat it up really good so you can make sure that it's like drawing it in and becoming fusing as pretty much as one. But always heating the thickest part. Actually, in this case, it's the clamp itself and not the actual wires, because since the wires are stranded, you apply heat to them, the wires will heat up quick, but doesn't mean that it's going to fuse good to that the actual clamp, which is the thickest metal there. And that's it. That right there is super connected. Now I'm gonna take the opportunity while that is heating up, cooling down, and let me see. See how wide this will be, so to make sure that it's gonna cover the length of the battery. So here now I cover it this way, and I'm gonna have this like this here. So when I turn those two clamps, those two other little clamps in, it'll be holding by the actual wire with the insulator outside of it, and not just holding onto the wire. So when you pull, first of all, it's not pulling straight out that it could slip out, but there's a curve. And on top of that, those other two clamps are holding, in this case, with the insulator and everything. Let me see if you can see it better here. You see? So it never come out. Plus it's soldered there. Oh man, because of putting this, which was important, I forgot I had to put this. Should have gone first. Damn it. So I got the easiest solution that I could think here. And this is how we mess up, especially when doing a video that, you kind of are focusing on something and you forget. The easiest solution for me is going to be to drill this little rivet type thing here and slide this, through here, because it'll fit. It should fit through there. It'll open up enough. That's one solution. Or take it all off again and redo it. But before I do that and think which way I want to go, let me put this one on. And here we go. Again, I'm going to hold it with the first one only. And we're going to solder this. Grab that by the wrong spot. It was in the way. The piece was going to be in my way. Again, always heating the thickest of all the metals. I forgot to do one thing. Bend this up a little bit here, the wires, bend them up. Because that way when it solders together, the wire also is soldered against itself, turned. It's more mechanical attachments. What is very critical and super important is that you always put soldering flux. It makes the job a lot easier. All right, that is perfect. Now back to my other phenomenon here. Well, let me close this up already. Shrink wrap this here. Oh, that's not even the proper word, but I guess you know what I mean. Just this shrink tubing. And I said shrink wrap. But yeah, shrink the tubing actually. A wasp. No, a yellow jacket. A yellow jacket playing around here. And you know what happens when one of those bites you? They leave off a pheromone, but then all the other ones come and attack you. Look at that, walking on the freaking phone. That is crazy. It's still flying around, and I kind of touched it with the heat. Wow. Well, I got it with when it was hanging around there again. I was able to touch it with the fire, so it might be dying now. And the yellow jackets are no joke. A dryer, not a dryer, a heat gun. Well, it looks like a hair dryer. It was the best thing for doing this part here, but with the lighter, you could get away with it. Especially when you're working outside of this. You don't want to have to throw an extension cord unless you have a battery operated heat gun. So this does the job. And it's just, this is a really thick, by the way, normally it would never take this long if you're using it. It'll be seconds if you're using it on a little one like this. Just that this is really thick. That's good enough there. I think this one cooled down enough to come back, do the curve. And do the curve a little bit longer there. There we go. See how that one came out? Now I can put it here. And perfect. And it's looking good. Now, I'll take this one apart and redo it. Put it in through here. Not gonna go with that other plan of taking out that rivet, because even though that will fit, but I would have to struggle to get it through. So we're gonna go with the unsoldering method. I'm taking this apart again. Let's grab that two right there. Take this one off out of the way. Heat it up and pull it, and it'll release. Even though it has that other clamp, as soon as the first clamp that was holding it, little ear, whatever we call it, but I'll bend that one back as soon as this is hot. I just gotta do it quickly, or just really pull hard that way, and it should come out. Oh yeah, there it goes. Now I'm gonna continue to give it heat so I could easily bend that little ear out. Should have brought more tools over here. Like a screwdriver to stick in here. There it goes. Opened enough. Now let's go back and put it on. And for this case, it'll be the third time. Now, let's squish that little ear back down again. So much harder to work with this one now because it's a little bit like messed up from fooling around with it here. So it's not as easy as when it was like untouched and brand new. But it'll work. Once it's soldered, it's soldered. Alright, let's go put some more of this flux there. Let's give it a go. I only put a little bit just so I can see it once it's absorbed in. Because at the beginning there, like I said, it's not going to do nothing but just melt off if I touch it like that or just drop. But that way I can see it there while when it starts to suck it in by putting a little bit. Right there, just taking it in. I wanted to twist some of these back. Couldn't do it earlier because it was already stiff from the solder that had stayed behind. So I gotta do it while it's hot, just because I had messed that up. Now that I smoke is because the insulating cover, you know, the black cover there, it's melting a little bit from all the heat I'm giving it. All those bent wires now, I'm gonna make sure they all solder in that position now that it's curved back. I'll put some more flux here. See, I put that little bit there. Once I see it get sucked in, that's it. I know that it's ready to just take this in where it melts right into it. But right now I'm getting a gust of wind and it's kind of chilly out here and it's not helping. This wind is not helping here. Alright, that should be it. Alright, let's bend it back now. Same way I did the other one. Again, this one's a lot harder than the other one because I've already kind of messed it up by putting it on and off, and they're kind of bent a little bit differently, out of place. That's why it becomes a little bit more difficult to do. But that's it. It's on. Now we can pick the other side. Now that I think about it, I could have just used the other side of this. Forget it has two sides. No big deal. Now let's check out this pump. This I have to rebuild it because all of this connection, I've had this pump sitting for a while, and I'm not sure if the seals I've got it back. So let's see if the pump works good. I'm gonna use this little battery here. What the hell is going on here? Why is this so stuck here? All right. Oh yeah, working. Let me turn the camera here. This is a lot better than using the hand pump I had on this one. All right, perfect. So that works. Happy outcome here. Now the other thing I gotta do is I gotta change this nozzles from the hand pump one to actually one that you hold, like at a gas station, because since it's gonna be done now instead of by hand, by the motor, it'll overfill. The other one has an automatic stop, like the ones at the gas station. So let me go get that pump. And I'll do a different video on that. So that'll be for another day. So catch you on the next one.